Trust me, I know it's been 15 long days since I've been away. Tell me you waiting at home with the baby and tell her that daddy's so proud of the way. She teaching her mama and daddy to be more like kids and still handle the biz on the road. Cause I got a dream that I never could sing to say. Excited to see where it goes. I love the environment. I could provide you with just have a writing about you in these songs. You taking me higher, no need for a lighter. The spark of my fire inspired this poem.
Couple weeks I had to leave, now coming back on the road. Tell me you love me and tell me you love me and tell me you love me and don't let me go.
EA Sports welcomes you to the following presentation.
Now the kicker, that's Cameron Dicker, set to get us started. And off we go here on Sunday Night Primetime. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They're led onto the field by the former Cal Bear and the #1 overall pick in 2016, Jared Goff.
As we begin the Super Bowl, we are looking at one of the game's most important players. And whether he's the centerpiece of the offense or taking a backseat to his teammates, offenses always look to the quarterback to be a leader in moments like this. He's got to be that calm, composed pillar out there who stays level-headed and keeps everyone focused on the task at hand.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And Goff going to look to throw right away. He's got right on the short throw. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. And even 20 yards and a first down on the game's very first play.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Goff. He's got it with the 15. Touchdown, Detroit. Jamison Williams with a first touchdown of this Super Bowl and a long one at that. And the Lions go down the field in just 2 plays to take the early lead. Now the extra point. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this is not going to wind up anywhere near the landing zone, so this will be blown dead, and they'll move it up to the 40.
Automatic first down.
Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at the 40. He'll look to throw right away. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Herbert now. And this is caught inside the 5. And he's in for a charge touchdown. Quentin Johnston, 35 yards. And the Chargers are an extra point away from taking the lead in this Super Bowl. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And they take the lead here at 7-6. Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out ready to send it away. Fights through. And a great return. Solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line. Back onto the field come the Lions for their second overall drive. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Georgia State High School Player of the Year in 2020. Here's Jahmyr Gibbs. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7. Leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Off play action. Here's Goff. He's airing it out for Williams. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And the Chargers are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, 64 yards. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. Now with that, they could elect to take the ball at the 1 if they wanted.
Yeah, exactly right. They have options here. If they decide now to go for 2 after the penalty, the ball doesn't go to the 2-yard line as normal. They get the penalty, so that's half the distance. You put it at the 1. But if they decided they wanted to kick, they would just move the ball from the 15 to the 10, and they would kick it there.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And the lead is up to 8. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, a long touchdown pass into the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And Detroit getting set to go now. They trailed early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together.
Listen. Tonight! Like 20!
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Well, that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Well, it hasn't been a banner first half with the defense trying to cover him today, but they'll take that one right there, helping force that incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10. And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here's 2nd and 10. Goff now looking to throw. And pass caught. It's Williams. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Well, after the standard 2-week layoff, you always wonder how's your offense going to respond and come out and play here in the Super Bowl. Well, they got a great answer right there and almost a sigh of relief on that side of the field because now they've got to feel like they can use their entire playbook and game plan for this one.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Goff now to throw. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And in for the Lions touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs, 32 yards. And the Lions have cut the lead back down to 2. Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield in the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play.
And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during a game, our cameras find them looking down at their play sheets, and you wonder if they're absorbing anything. He had something specific in mind, and he went to it, and it worked well.
Dan Campbell makes the call. His guys will go for 2 here. Goff looking to throw. And no, it falls incomplete. So the 2-point conversion, no good. Tough there. Good pass, hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere, seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
And this ball is not going to get to the 20, so this is going to be whistled dead, and the ball's going to be placed up at the 40-yard line.
Entering settings screen, menu narration set to 100.
Chargers in good field position to start out. 1st and 10 at the 40. Now Herbert off the bootleg. Across the formation, he's got a man. That's Allen. Fighting his way through contact. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now he's going to step up and run. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Well, coaches stress their defense being physical. They don't just mean the big guys. How about the guys on the outside, the cornerbacks? It's not just their job to patrol the airspace. They can get involved in the run game as well.
Third down and 13.
Set. 380, 59, 59. 59, 59.
Herbert. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
And this may be a big early turning point in this Super Bowl. They're going to go for it on fourth down here.
Let's go. Baylor Tiger. Baylor Tiger. Hey, easy. We'll go orange. Set.
They snap it to Herbert. He'll try to do it himself. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The fourth down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Drive starts with a run from Gibbs. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit. Well, CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those...
And his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And the Chargers are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And a drive that stalled out last time. Went for it on fourth, didn't get it. How does that translate here? I would imagine momentum's with the defense.
Definitely with the defense, because anytime anyone goes for it on fourth down, that's telling you as a defense that you can't stop us. We don't think that you can. And when you actually do, that may put a little dent in the confidence of the offense the next time they hit the field.
Yeah, we'll see if they can bring that pride, the offense, this go-around. We've got a lot more ahead of us here in Super Bowl 60. Second quarter coming your way next. The Chargers are on top. The NFL on EA Sports continues right after this message.
Set. Go. 300. 300. Let's go. Hey.
Now here's a whistle as flags come in. And we'll check out the call. That flag, that'll push him back 5. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now it's Herbert. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards for the Chargers there as they've got themselves a first down.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Black 80, black. Hey, ram. What is it?
Back to throw here, Herbert. Pass out left finds Johnston. Down the left sideline. Touchdown, LA! Quentin Johnston, his 2nd touchdown of the Super Bowl. As his guys are able to extend their lead. Extra point try now from Dicker. And that makes it a 9-point game. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was Quentin Johnston who finished that drive off with a touchdown grab.
Dicker to kick off for the Chargers.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 35-yard line. Detroit's offense ready to take over. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. And they start things off with a carry by Gibbs here. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
2nd and 9.
Go, come on. 180.
Now a play fake, and it's gone. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And yet again, Goff is intercepted. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. A nightmare of a first half for him, and that's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
On first down, it's Hampton. Oh, some strong running. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns. But guess what? Ground game has now been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
380. Hey, ram.
Justin Herbert looking to pass. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Ladd McConkey from 19 yards away. And the Chargers continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. Now after after the Dicker field goal. He's back out, ready to send it away. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. And Detroit getting set to go now. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. Heck of a move. Well, boy, showing how tough he can be to bring down, just fighting his way forward to pick up 7 yards.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. Play action. It's Goff. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Gibbs will try and pick it up. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 51 yards rushing for him now in the first half of this Super Bowl.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Here's Goff. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Goff now looks to throw. Setting up the screen. This is Gibbs. Yeah, he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide. And these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
And a screen unsuccessfully dropped it.
As soon as he looked down and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
2nd and 10. To throw is Goff. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
What will look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll fake the give. Now Goff. Yeah, he will not be able to hang on to the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
I know a Sometimes people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Bates' kick is good. And that will cut the lead down to 13. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Haskins hit, and he lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Let's just call that play exactly what it is. Needed, because they wanted to get back in the game, and they knocked the ball free, and now they have a chance to do exactly that.
They got the chance. Now they have to take advantage. Gibbs straight ahead. Deion Henley there on the tackle.
I think they want to start getting back into this game. It behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. Now 2nd and 9.
Hold on.
They'll go again with Gibbs. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7.
180.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And the Chargers force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. The Charger drive about to get going. Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. 23 yards on the play.
And the Chargers first down. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
The final shot before the break for Herbert. He's got the tight end. That's Gadsden. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So 2 corners in the books here. So the halftime show of the Super Bowl abbreviated. Ready to go for the second half. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. These 2 teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this 3rd quarter. And I would imagine this is where you have to take stock of the situation, CD, and say, gosh, we're halfway to the Lombardi Trophy. Let's not slow down now.
And I like the way you went there. Let's not slow down now, because the first half certainly went their way. And I would expect them to continue that type of a game plan. But you're right. You do think back to Super Bowl 54. 49ers had a double-digit lead in the 4th quarter, couldn't hold on. So plenty can still happen.
At the 34-yard line.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. That is incomplete.
Zone coverage there. They were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. At that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Go.
Here's Herbert. Room to maneuver at the 35. Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, his second touchdown of the Super Bowl. And the Chargers will extend their third quarter lead here in this Super Bowl.
The Chargers will line up for the
Lion.
conversion.
Orange. Hey, OP. Let's go.
And they'll have Herbert try and throw for it. And he's got it. So the try for two successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. And, of course, on the two-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line. So this is going to come out to the 35. So we're going to look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. Got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Going up top. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
Now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. That'll leave it with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.